the $600 package. She's a sports professional. And tell you what, Sheila, do this for kind of introduce yourself to the group. We'll have some more people coming in here shortly. Amy McKenzie,
Okay.
ooh, superstar. Amy,
Okay,
I haven't seen you in such a long time. I love the hair.
Sassy, huh?
Sweetie, you look like you're like 20 something or something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
These great products I take.
hey, isogenesis.
I'm telling you, twice a day.
Hey, I'm telling you. I mean, this arm here is the one that's been, never got repaired, and it's, and I've injured it a couple of times. Once, maybe a month before I went to Molokai, and I'll tell you what, it is back to where it was maybe 10, 12 years ago,
Wow.
which is, I mean, I still have to be, careful with it and stuff. I'm going to do this because I don't want to lose the time. You guys know the drill. I've got to leave a couple minutes before 6 to let Modesta go. We've got Sheila Weaver with us, and Sheila just onboarded with me this morning. And Sheila, maybe you can do like a 60-second introduction of your background and why you're excited about getting involved with Isagenix.
sure. Okay, again, my name's Sheila Weaver. I was involved with Isagenix many years ago when they first were starting. So the fact that I'm coming back to it again is really rewarding. I have been a volleyball coach for a number of years, coached in college, high school, just inducted into the DC, I'm from Washington, DC Hall of Fame, because I have a lot of girls that play volleyball, did really well. My degree is in health physical education, and I have an athletic recruiting site for student athletes. So the whole concept of nutrition and good health, very close to my heart. So I was just fortunate to find Fred by searching on Facebook, looking for Isagenix distributors. And we had so many things in common because I'm in Las Vegas taking care of both of my parents who are 95 and 90. And so I've got my hands full too, but we're working through it. So.
Welcome.
Thank you very
welcome.
much.
Yeah, and Sheila, and we'll do some other Steve Henderson, good to see you, buddy. We'll wait till your audio's up and running. Let's see here. There we go. You got your audio going, buddy? Steve? You hear us? Hey, Steve. Do you hear us? Check your audio, buddy, because I don't hear you.
It's not, he's not on mute. There we go. He's connecting.
There you go.
Oh, but now you're muted, so unmute yourself, Stephen.
You got the right audio connection. You just have to unmute yourself.
Okay, now we're good. Are we good?
We
Yeah,
are.
we're very good.
Okay.
And Steve onboarded with me a while back. Steve, why don't you introduce yourself to group, 60 seconds, your background, why you're here.
Well, my name is Steve Henderson, and I grew up here in Ventura. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good, really good.
Just double checking. Anyways, I moved to Oregon for like 20 years, and I just moved back last year. And I'm a realtor at the Remax office in Ojai, and I'm just trying to get going in real estate. And so I was actually doing cold calls, calling people to see if I could find anybody interested in listing their home or buying another home. And I got a hold of Fred, and we started talking about just life changes and I know positive like momentum in the right direction. And I feel like I'm on this new path in life. And I've always been self-conscious about my health and stuff like that, and tried to eat good and just, but I'm kind of like just lost. I felt like I didn't know which way to navigate. And Fred kind of, I don't know, just kind of got me on board with this whole Isagenix, and I'm really enjoying it so far.
So we'll do some other introductions. Kate and Brian, and I don't know where they are on your screen, but they're in my upper left-hand corner. Brian is always doing this whenever I come home from the gym, and I just hate him for that. I mean, he's a dirtbag. But Kate and Brian have been involved with the company. Actually, they're going back several years in Zija. Robin is one of our original, her and her husband were one of our original distributors many years ago. Amy McKenzie is a personal enrollee of mine. And, you know, she's one of the company's, you know, top trainers, presenters, everybody. I mean, when we used to do our meetings together, everybody'd say, you know, when's Amy going to do more meetings? You know, i.e., we're really tired of hearing you, Fred. Can we get somebody that really does a good job? And then Sheila just onboarded with me here actually this morning. And you'll get a chance to meet some of the other people. I'll do some formal introductions to you because I want each one of you to have somebody besides me that you can rely on their story. And, you know, Steve understands this to a certain extent. Sheila, you will learn more about this in our next meeting.
Okay.
You know, 90% of prospecting isn't what you say. It's what somebody else says. Okay. You got to have somebody else, you know, third party validation. And you got some great team members here. Brian and Kate are heading up, along with Amy, a group that I started working with right about the time we were doing the transition. We called it the Monday Group. And we spent several weeks together working, kind of getting us set up for that transition. And I drop into the group from time to time. And I just thought this would be a great opportunity for Sheila and Steve to be able to, you know, meet a few people. And mostly what I wanted to do is take a minute. Kate, can I just roll?
Go for it, Fred.
All right. You know, as you know, some of you know, I was struggling quite a bit here towards the last, you know, few weeks. I'd gone 10 months without a break, no days off. And I got out, finally got to Molokai. And I really just kind of shut down. I really did next to nothing while I was there. And most of you know, when I take my little respites, you know, you can count on me doing 3-ways and conference calls and whatever, you know, typically in the morning hours. As Amy's learned, you do not want to find me doing a 3-way call with you, you know, later in the afternoon, not from the beach. It'll be a lot of fun for me, but it won't be much fun for your prospect. I did next to nothing, and it was really a great time for me to recoup. I'm back, jumping back on board. I'm you know, fired up. What I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about with the team is this concept of the, you know, this last 6 weeks, the last 45 days of the year. You know, the longer I am, you know, surrounded by Isogenics, I've got a little bit of an inside track because I get on our periodic, I think they call it now, the top 300 global leaders in the company. You know, so I've got, you know, kind of a view of what's going to be happening in 2021 that, you know, the masses do not have. If I wasn't convinced before, I am convinced now. The sweet spot to be with this company is where we are right now. Okay, the things that are going to happen over the next, you know, 24, 36 months are going to set this company on a trajectory, not for $1 billion a year. And now we're only talking about maybe a dozen companies that have ever made it in the history of network marketing and sustained $1 billion a year, probably less than a dozen. We're on a trajectory to go and surpass that. Now, the key is don't wait for it. Okay, being ahead of the wave. You know, Steve, you're a SoCal boy. You understand. You don't wait for the wave to catch up with you. You got to get ahead of that puppy if you're going to ride it, right? Yeah. But the people that, you know, here's the thing. You're in the lineup. You're waiting for the perfect wave. When you see it coming, and others may not see it, but you see it, and you start paddling, and you paddle like there's no tomorrow. And if you pick the right wave, and you got out in front of it, you're going to have a ride of your lifetime. Folks, this is the right wave. Okay, now what I want to talk about is this concept of the, you know, the seasons in network marketing. Every industry, every profession has a, you know, a high volume period of time. Okay, so for instance, the beginning of the year, that is a high volume. That is the season for gyms. Okay, and by the way, weight management companies, because everybody is focused on their New Year's resolution, losing weight. That's like the number one, you know, losing weight, getting healthier, the number one, you know, New Year's resolution. In this point in time, changing financial situation has always been number two. Today, it rivals number one. And what do we offer people? Health and wellness and the opportunity to create financial security. So we're prime. Most retail types of businesses, they look at like the last, 6, 12, 6, 8, 6 and 10 and 12 weeks of the year, the holiday season. And there's a lot of companies out there that'll do, 50%, 2/3 of their entire year's volume between November 1 and December 31st. Okay, there's always ebbs and flows. In the network marketing calendar, the first quarter of the year has always been the highest productivity quarter of the year, followed closely by the last quarter of the year. And then I'm going to say, let's say starting towards the end of August through, mid-November to about this time. Now, there's reasons for it. I won't take the time to go into it, but for this particular, time session, just buy my story. Okay, just buy my story. If you want to have the most productive 2021, you want to be poised for massive momentum in the first 90 days of the year. This is something that I understood when I first started with the Zija company. Most of you guys know my story. I started flat-footed in 2008, and it was a grind. I had to go out and do the deal every single day, share the product, share the opportunity, teach others to do the same. I didn't walk into the beginning of 2008 with any momentum, and it took time to build, and I did not miss a step. The lower productive times of the year tend to be in the summer, say starting around the end of, towards the end of May through June and July, and a lot of August. Kids are out of school, everybody's thinking about vacation, people aren't thinking, we're all independent contractors, you're in business for yourself, and you got no boss to tell you there's no difference between July 15th and March 15th, and keep working. We all get to make that decision ourselves. Now, what I did is I hammered it out. I got to the end of the year. Most of my year, half of my year's income did not occur until the last quarter of the year, October, November, December. But what I did is what I'm going to share with you right now. I focused on not so much the amount of activity, but being crystal clear on the consistency of activity. I did not skip a beat. October 1, October 2, I kept going. I didn't take a break on Halloween until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon when I had to, cut a pumpkin and get it ready for mom to watch the little kids come. I kept working, and in my mind, I kept thinking, back when I used to have a job, they gave me 1 day off for Thanksgiving and 1 day off for Christmas, and that's all I got. And actually, most of the time I worked those days because as a single guy, we let the married guys get those days off, and single guys work Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then so the guys could be home with their kids, and then the single guys got New Year's Eve and New Year's Day off, right? I mean, that was the trade-off. But I hammered the deal. I stayed consistent. I didn't skip a beat. By the way, don't for 1 second think there are people out there that don't have money. Okay, I brought in what we used to call the Z5 or the Gold Pack, $5,000 order on the 15th of December from a guy that wasn't going to start working the business until after the first of the year, but he wanted to have the product on hand. People got the money. Not everybody. Don't buy into that story. People aren't working. They're spent all their money for Christmas presents. People have money. Okay. If they don't, they'll tell you, but don't you tell them they don't in your own mind, right? Now, what happened, because I did not skip a beat during the holidays, I went into the beginning of 2009, my second year in Zija, with full-blown momentum. And that first quarter of the year rocked. I mean, it absolutely rocked. It set me up on a trajectory that by the end of the year, that second year's income was 5 times the first year. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't serendipitous. It wasn't a fluke. It was 100% by design. And it was because I'd already seen this happen many, many, many times over. So what I'm sharing with you, and this message would have been better October 1, but I'm just going to be candid with you. I was not, emotionally and mentally in a place to deliver the message. I am now. You have 45 days till the end of the year. For those of you that want to be in a position to capitalize on everything that's going to happen in 2001, real simple, it's the big wave. This is the one. This is the wave that you can ride and get the championship score with. And if you want to be prepared for that, make no mistake about it, the most important 45 days for 2001 are the next 45 days of 2020. Okay? Make no mistake about it. And here's what's going to happen. If you are consistent, if you have your DMO down, your daily method of operation, if you're doing the deal, whether you're reaching out to, one new potential customer or one new potential distributor a day, or if it's 2 a day or 3 a day, or whatever it is that's your, DMO, stay consistent with the DMO. Anticipate that you will have more people telling you, sounds good, I want to wait till after the first of the year. Anticipate that over the next 45 days, you will have that happen more than you would have if this was, 6 weeks ago or 3 months ago or 6 months ago, because people are focused on the holidays. Okay, that's their focus. They don't understand what I'm talking about, but that's okay. What you want to do is you want to walk into the first of the year with a whole list of people that are ready to say now, yes, now. They're not saying no to you. If they're saying, this sounds really good, I'd like to look at this after the first of the year. What you want to do is be in a position where you have momentum walking into the first of the year. Now, some of the people will sign up, okay? Sheila signed up today, 45 days before the end of the year, a week and a half from Thanksgiving. She's very similar to me. She's got 2 elderly parents that she's dealing with. One is very ill, the other one has dementia. But she was ready to go now. You will get people that will be ready to go today. You will have a higher percentage of people that'll say, let's connect after the first of the year. And that's what you want. You want to be able on day one, and let January go. Let people get over their their hangovers or whatever. But January 2, you want to be dialing for dollars. Hey, Mary Lou, glad I caught you. Want to talk to you about that great program that you said you wanted to start the first of the year. Let's get you skinny and looking good. The right time to prepare for bikini season is today. Let's get you going. Bob, you said you wanted to get rich in 2021, or you don't ever want to be in a situation where, the COVID cooties or what, we got a new administration and everything's going to hell. By the way, that happens whether you're a Democrat or Republican, okay? Everything's going to go to hell. Just ask the Democrats what happens when the Republicans take power. Ask the Republicans what the Democrats do. Everybody, it always goes to hell. I guarantee it, right? But you want to make sure that you'll never have that situation to do again. To secure your financial future, the right time is today. Let's go. Dialing for dollars. Here's the deal, folks. It takes 30, 60, 90 days to establish momentum. When you're in momentum, it's fun. New people are getting on the product, they're losing weight and feeling great. New people are getting into business, they're making money and excited. Momentum makes it fun. If you have no momentum, then it's a lot like work. Okay, now, my first year, with our previous company, it was a lot like work. I had no momentum. I had to start from ground zero and kickstart the puppy. The second year, it was a lot of fun because I made sure I walked into the first of the year in momentum, not having to establish momentum. I would strongly encourage each one of you to go back to my my old YouTube playlist, review the first videotape, you know, the 60-minute what we do and how we do it, new distributor training. Get yourself firmly grounded in the basics. Forget all the other stuff that you've been seeing and is floating around out there. Stick to the basics. The second one I recommend that you review again, I know you've seen it many times, but I encourage you to review it again, is the 90-day game plan. Okay, if you do those two things, that will set you up. But, you know, make no mistake about it. One of two things is going to happen. You're going to heed the words that I'm saying, and come January 1, your business, if it's not already on fire, it'll be like it was a spark. You just threw gasoline on it. It will explode. That's one of the things that'll happen. The other thing that's going to happen is you'll go to sleep for the next 5 or next, you know, 45 days, and you will have to kickstart this thing January 1. When some of us are in full-blown momentum and raking in new customers, new distributors, and higher volumes, you're going to have to be pushing the rock uphill. Okay, one of two things. So that's what I wanted to share with you folks. I'll hush up. Any questions, any comments, any thoughts?
Wow, Fred, that was awesome. You're definitely on fire.
I'm back, baby.
Yes, definitely.
Lead, follow, or get out of my way, and you better do it quick because I'm on you.
When are you going to Molokai again? Do you have January booked?
No, I wish. No, the deal is when I leave, my sister has to be here. Okay, I cover 60 hours a week between Modesta and Yolanda covering mom, but the other, you know, 100 hours a week that mom needs attention, my sister covers it. And honestly, 2 weeks of her involvement here is more strain on her than 6 months for me. So I can't do that. No, I'm looking at maybe April. That'll be about 6 months from now. And hey, I'm all good. Hey, I'm all good. I don't need much.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering how long this enthusiasm would last. This fired up, you know, lead, follow, or get out of the way.
I'm pretty consistent. I'm really pretty good for about 4 months. The last 2 months, it's a little bit of a struggle. You may not notice it. I know, just because of the additional energy. Amy's actually noticed, but she knows me pretty well. But you know, that 5th and 6th month before I take off, I got to put more energy into doing the deal. 10 months, man, that was a bit of a struggle. That was a bit much. But so, any questions about this?
No, I just want to say thanks for
Go
letting
ahead,
me
Stephen.
join the group, I guess.
Yeah, and you know, I can't speak for the group. When we put this group together, you know, it was Kate and Brian were the leaders of it. Amy contributed because, but not as much because she was out of the country. You know, there may be an opportunity. Let me discuss it with the principals. I wanted you, you know, I'm Fred Holmes. I can invite anybody I want to any group that I go to. You know, I mean, and I'm taking advantage of that, right?
For sure.
But I wanted you know, my 2 newest people to hear the message, and I knew that there would be a few people on the meeting tonight that would be good people I'd want to introduce you to. I'm going to introduce you to you know, Amy and Brian and Kate and Robin anyway, because you need to have a group of people that you know their stories and you can call upon them to share their story. You need to have somebody besides me. You know, my story's gonna be very good for some people, but quite candidly, my story's too good, you know, in terms of results for some people. And it's you know, a lot of times I have to dumb it down, right? And so yeah, we'll make sure that, you know, whether it's this group or a new group that I'll be working with, we'll get you involved, because you need to have a peer group. We always work better in a group. I mean, that's
For
just
sure.
what it is. Okay.
I like it.
I
Right
have to
on.
walk out of here. Anything else right now, guys?
No, I just want to thank you for inviting me to join the group because everybody needs support. We're,
Yeah.
and it's great to have it from people who are already accomplished in the field. So
And
appreciate it.
I'm really excited that you're here, Sheila. I've been a volleyball mom for 16 years. And
Listen.
I actually played volleyball after it became available in my school. But also, my youngest just graduated in 2019. She played D2 volleyball in West Virginia. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's wonderful. I was telling Fred, my daughter, well, we're from the West Coast, Washington, D.C., and I was coaching her through high school, and I formed a club called DC Juniors. And at that time, she was recruited by just about everybody, but she ended up at Long Beach State. And she played with Misty May, all that group, and Brittany Hochaver, so they won the national championship. That seems like yesterday, but it's been a while. So I can appreciate football mom, believe me.
All right, guys, I'm going to drop out of here. Kate and Brian, let's talk about scheduling another time with a little more advance notice so more of the group, is aware. And let's talk about another time. You guys give me something that you want me to focus on, and I'll join you here in a week or two on another meeting. But we'll talk, maybe tomorrow sometime or something.
That'd be great, Fred.
Perfect.
Steve, it was nice meeting you too.
Yeah,
And
you too.
both of you, Sheila and Steve, we've been meeting here weekly, and you're exactly right, Sheila. It's great to have a support system, and what we wind up doing, even if it's just to touch base with people who are all pretty much on the same page about what we're doing, and we all will have something to share.
Yeah. And Stephen and Brian have something in common too. Brian was in real estate for 30 years. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Awesome. Where at?
Yeah.
In Los Angeles,
San Fernando Valley.
San Fernando Valley.
Nice. Yeah, I've been in for 5 years now up in Oregon, and then I just got my license in California last few months ago.
Nice.
And both you guys are gym rats.
Yeah, you gotta stay busy, man. Gotta keep that body moving.
But don't wear a shirt next time you come into the meeting.
Be comparing muscles.
Hey, you guys, all right. And thanks again. It's nice to meet you, and hopefully I'll see you guys all again soon.
All right, and for Sheila and Stephen, friend us on Facebook, and we'll add you to our messenger group so that you can stay in contact.
And we have your contact information. We'll slip out the link for you to get back into this.
Oh, good.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Amy, love the hair. Robin, so good to see you. Give my best to Bob. Everybody else, we'll talk soon. I got to roll.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fred.
Guys.
I think with this, we'll go ahead and close the meeting for this week. Thank you all for coming, and we'll hope to see you next week.
All right, have a good night.
Take care, everyone. Welcome, you guys.
Nice to meet everybody.